literally a referendum on his record. But Vice President Biden, you like to quote one of your dad's sayings, which is, don't compare me to the Almighty, compare me to the alternative. And in this case, sir, you are the alternative. Looking at both of your records, I'm going to ask each of you, why should voters elect you president
I bet
over
you
your
everybody
opponent?
looking at this
In
shit
this
like they ain't
segment,
expect fucking
President
Trump to
Trump,
be
you go
this
first, 2
fucking
minutes.
sharp.
Because there has never
motherfuckers.
been an administration or
Ain't thinking
president
about it.
who has done more than I've done in a period of 3.5 years. And that's
Talk about
despite
it,
the
son.
impeachment hoax. And you saw what happened today with Hillary
No, they
Clinton,
did-
where it was
they
a
did
whole
impeach
big
him,
con
didn't they?
job. But despite going through all of these things, where I had to fight both flanks and behind me and above, there has never been an administration that's done what I've done. The greatest, before COVID came in, the greatest economy in history, lowest unemployment numbers. Everything was good. Everything was going. And by the way,
son.
there was unity
You
going
just
to
forgot,
happen.
son.
People were calling me for the first time in years. They were calling and they were saying, it's time maybe. And then
COVID
what happened? We got
happened,
hit, but
and
now we're
like
building
shit.
it back up again. A rebuilding
Bush
of
was
the
in office
military,
and you had
including Space
9/11.
Force and all of the
All
other
three of
things.
them happened
A
fast.
fixing of the VA, which was a mess under him. 308,000 people died because they didn't have proper health care. He was a mess. And we
He
now
was
got a
a mess.
91% approval rating at the VA, our vets. We take care of our vets. But we've rebuilt our military. The job that we've done, and I'll tell you something, some people say maybe the most important. By the end of the first term, I'll have approximately 300 federal judges and Court of Appeals judges, 300, and hopefully
Right,
3
look at
great
notes.
Supreme Court judges,
You better find some
justices.
juicy
That
stuff
is
about
a
it. Time
record,
is over.
the likes of which very few people, and you know one of the reasons I'll have so many
I'm not
judges? Because
Yes, you
President
are.
Obama and him left me
If I vote for
128.
Trump,
No, you're not.
don't
You
tell me
just
who the fuck
vote.
I'm Trump. That's why
When
we
you
ain't
leave
supposed to talk
office,
about
you
this
don't
shit.
leave
Don't
any
talk
judges.
about it.
That's
Just
like
know when
you
it's
just
time
don't
to
do
vote,
that.
you're
They
not
left
gonna just sleep all day.
128 openings, and if I were a
Nah,
member of
you
his
right.
party,
I'm gonna be one
because
vote
they have a
to
little
get
different
You're not gonna
philosophy,
waste your
I'd
vote.
say
You're
if
gonna
you
use
left
it.
Okay.
us
Vote for Trump.
128
Trump.
openings, you can't
have
be a good
another issue
president.
when we get
You
back to
can't
the
be a
house.
good vice president. But I want to thank you because it gives us almost.
No.
It'll probably be above that number by the end of this term.
Even know who I vote
300
for.
judges. It's a record.
That's what's wrong with
Looking
the
at
world
both
now.
your
Like,
records,
nobody never
Why
talk
why
about
should
this
voters elect you president as opposed to President Trump? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Under this president, we become weaker, sicker, poorer, more divided, and more violent. When I was vice president, we inherited a recession. I was asked to fix it. I did. We left him a booming economy, and he caused the recession. With regard to being weaker, the fact is that I've gone head to head with Putin and made it clear to him we're not going to take any of his stuff. He's Putin's puppy. He still refuses to even say anything to Putin about the bounty on the heads of American soldiers.
Your son got
No,
$3.5 million.
Okay.
And
And by the way, my son.
Shut up.
Mr. President, your campaign agreed that both sides would get 2-minute answers uninterrupted. Well, your side agreed to it, and why don't
So
you
you
observe
was
what your
right.
campaign agreed to as a ground rule, okay, sir?
He never keeps his word. Can you add back
No, I'm not asking, that was a rhetorical question.
Can you
Go
add
ahead,
back
sir.
30 seconds?
Yeah, yes, you
Okay.
may have,
All right.
go ahead.
So, thirdly, we're poor. The billionaires have gotten much more wealthy by a tune of over $300 to $400 billion more just since COVID. You in the home, you got less. You're in more trouble than you were before. In terms of being more violent, when we were in office, there were 15% less violence in America than there is today. He's president of the United States. It's on his watch. And with regard to more divided, the nation can't stay divided. We can't be this way. And speaking of my son, the way you talk about the military, the way you talk about them being losers and being and just being suckers. My son was in Iraq. He spent a year there. He got the Bronze Star. He got the Conspicuous Service Medal. He was not a loser. He was a patriot. And the people left behind there were heroes.
Really?
And I
Are you
resent
talking
like
about
hell.
Hunter? Are you talking about
I'm
Hunter?
talking about my son, Beau Biden. You're
I
talking
don't
about
know. I don't know, Bo. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter
you know
got
Bo.
thrown. Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. It
for
wasn't dishonorably.
cocaine use, and he didn't have a job until you became vice president. And once you
None of
became
that
vice
is
president,
true.
he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
That is simply
and various
not
other places.
true.
He
My
made a
son
fortune.
Talking
my
about
son,
and he didn't have a
vodka
job.
My
and
son,
vodka.
like a
They
lot of
always
people,
have
like a lot
money.
of people we know at home, had a drug problem. He's overtaken it. He's fixed it. He's worked on it, and I'm proud of him.
But why
I'm
was he
proud of
given
my
tens
son.
of millions
All
of
right,
But
dollars?
he wasn't given
All right,
tens of millions
he
of
was given
That
tens
is
of
totally,
millions of
that's been
President Trump-
totally, that's
President
been
Trump-
discredited.
We've already been
Totally discredited.
We've already been through this. I think the American people would rather
Good
hear
shit,
about more
Biden.
substantial
So do I.
subjects.
Good
Well, you
shit,
know,
Biden.
as the moderator, sir, I'm going to make
I know,
a
but
judgment call here.
it's $3.5 million
Okay,
from
right.
the
Let's
mayor
talk
of
about
Moscow.
That
talk
is
about
not
it.
true.
Yeah.
That report is
Yeah.
totally
Why did he-
discredited.
I
Mitt Romney on that committee said it wasn't worth taxpayers'
Yeah.
money, that
Fuck
report. It was
that.
written for political reasons.
You know, I'd like to talk about climate change.
So do I.
Okay. The forest fires in the West are raging now. They have burned millions of acres.
Yeah,
They
this shit
have
real too.
displaced hundreds of thousands of